Hello, everybody. Good Sunday morning to you. Welcome back to the shop. Alright, guys. Next, I have my wings primed. I'm going to put them both in the vise to hold them. See what it looks like. They're still raised. You see that? But it's just because there's the same amount of primer on everything. Now what we got to do is come in here, do a little sanding. Now I'm going back to my favorite block. The piece wore out to 20. Okay. We don't want to get real aggressive. In fact, I think. Let me check the paper. I got some 320 here. So we don't want to get real aggressive with it and scratch up the tape, and it's harder to get off. Find my tape removal tool. This is my tape removal tool, just the right size, and I kind of sanded that needle flat on that size, and it works really well. That's just a straight pin. See the little deal in it? Taped to a pencil. I got some 320. 320 grit. Because if we scratch all that tape up, it's going to want to break. Rather than just pull out clean. I get my sponge in my bucket. My sponge in the bucket, when I dip that into water, I actually wipe it on my sponge and clean it off. Love them big sponges. You can get them at Home Depot. Anywhere they sell ceramic tile. Go in the ceramic tile department, paint department. I love them big old sponges. But if you don't do this before you pull your tape out, you'll end up with it breaks the edge, and you won't have a very clean edge. If you sand them, you have a nice, sharp, crisp panel line. Oh, these are going to be a pain to get off. What I use is, I like that high build urethane primer for my plug work and parts and planes and stuff. When I'm laying up a part, I use epoxy primer. I like the self-etching epoxy primer. It don't shrink. Urethane shrinks. lacquer shrinks. That's why I don't get the glass weave when I'm laying up my parts. If you use this primer or lacquer primer and you spray your mold, lay your glass in there and you pull it out, you'll see your weave. That's because this primer shrinks. I found that self-etching primer don't shrink. Because I can spray it on something. If you spray this primer on a mold, you have to put your glass on it that day. Because the contours in the mold, this primer starts to shrink and it'll lift off your mold. Self-etching primer, you can spray in a mold and leave it for weeks and weeks, and it don't shrink and lift. And that's why I used epoxy self-etching primer in my mold. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. But I don't like it on parts because epoxy is not a high build primer and it don't sand as well. That's why I don't use epoxy primer for everything. But this urethane high build, man, it dries quick. You can sand it in an hour. But I like to let it set for a couple days before I do any molding. Let it cure out good. Hey, I want to thank everybody for emailing JR America for me. They might, I don't know if they'd, that sure would be cool, be a JR rep. I love that. You know, I was looking on their website last night, and it said they're looking for people to go to just average fun fields. And you know, and I've been saying for a long time I wanted to do that, and I have stopped at one. And I had a great time. That was big fun, man. Remember that little kid flying? His dad, his grandpa was there, and that was a good time, man. Man, I'd love to do that. Just leave like 2 weeks early going to Kentucky Jets. Stopping at places along the way. Oh, there's Calvin. Hey Calvin, what's up? Oh, nothing, just working, making a video. You want to get a shout out to anybody? No. Keep it rated G, brother.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's the weather like at your house?
We got sunshine, a little breezy, clear skies.
It seems to be windy everywhere. I did a worldwide weather report yesterday, and I determined it's windy everywhere today. Oh, I bet it is. Well, come on over. Alright, we'll see you. Alright, Calvin's gonna come visit the shop today. I can still tell this primer's a bit soft though, because of the weather. Cold. Man, it's gonna take a while to dig all this tape out. Still soft though. You can tell it might be better off letting it set for a day. Yeah, it's gonna be like 60 degrees here today, but we got a 20-mile-an-hour southwest wind. So, but through my worldwide weather report, I have determined that I think I'd have to hop in my plane and fly to Australia. For California, Southern California's pretty nice. In the 70s. It's always nice in California. And that just ain't no fair. No fair at all. Hey, I want to give a shout out to one of my fans in Switzerland. Send me a little note this morning. What's going on, Dave? He said if I get him a shout out, maybe his wife will let him buy a new jet. So he said I inspired him enough to take his new Comp R Eurosport and do what he wanted to do with it. Can't be scared to do this stuff, guys. You just gotta dive in heads first, man. Just go for it. You know, I've been there. I've sat and looked at something for months thinking, man, I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that. And you just gotta dive in there, guys. Just do it, man. Just make it happen. You know? Think outside the box. Loud old heater finally shut on. These little ones that's pain to get out. You guys still watching? So you guys that hasn't emailed JR America yet, now's your chance. Just go to JR America where it says contact us. Tell them about Bob TV. And maybe, just maybe, you might get OB1 Bob show up at your flying field. Unload some jets, baby. Bam. Well, I'm ready for the Winter Olympics. I like watching the Olympics, man. They're gonna let women ski jump this year. I don't think anyone they let go off that mountain onto that ramp should be committed. Guys are nuts. Anybody that's I'm gonna ski off that mountain and fly like a bird. It should be. That's some crazy stuff right there, man. Ain't you seen that Wide World of Sports, the agony of defeat? So I'll post a link to JR America in the description here, guys. Anyone that hasn't did that yet, do your old B1 Bob a favor and just take 5 minutes and just tell them what old B1 Bob's inspired you to do. Tell them how I helped you out when you was in the hospital, and I've gotten so many letters, guys, and from people that was been in the hospital or been hurt or sick, and I just every day they sit and watch Bob TV and makes their life a little bit better. That's I can brighten up someone's day and make them laugh and teach them to do something in the meantime, then it's all worthwhile, And help out your buddy Bob in the process. Don't worry, if I go to them places, man, I'll be taking my video camera with me. That's just part of the deal. You're not just getting me, you're getting my video camera. Never know, might get me someone to walk around with a video camera behind me. That's what I need. You know what I mean? Someone just to follow me around with the video camera. That would be some cool Bob TV. Cause I'm so busy at these jet meets sometimes that we're going to Arizona next month, and Bob's just going to have a good time and fly my stuff and take the F4 and the Bandit and just have some fun on the flight line. Well, Bill's pretty good on the camera too, so we'll get Bill on the camera. John's going to be there taking some pictures for the website. John found an airline ticket for $80. $80 from Chicago. So he's going to fly. Let's see how these turn out. Well, Jason was kind of worried about these being hard to pull out. Let's just see. Let's just see how these are gonna pull out. Should just be like the panel line tape, you know? Bam! Wow, them look good, Jason. That actually worked better than the panel line tape. Pulled out cleaner. A lot of times this panel line tape separates. You'll get the black layer off, but it leaves a shiny layer in there. You know, like this one right here, this is just the shiny layer. A lot of it came out when I was sanding the black stuff. It leaves. You can see it in there because it's shinier than the rest of it. Bam! Turned out rather nicely, huh? There's another circle up there. Yeah. Yep. See? See the hinges? Yes, sir. And I got to pull out this tape and sand up there. Working nicely. Man, that ended up being a long old video. Don't forget, JR America. Tell them how B1 Bob's inspired you. And tell us what you did. And thanks for the weather report, everybody. I am determined. It's windy everywhere today. Can't go hop in my G5 and go flying anywhere. So I'll just hang out in the shop, get something done. We'll see you back here in the shop. Same Bob time, same Bob station.